All right, let's talk about one of the most essential jobs on the entire planet, farming. It's something that connects every single one of us, no matter where we live. But here's the thing, the same exact job can look completely, unbelievably different depending on where you are in the world. No, really, just stop and think about it for a second. That apple in your hand or the bread for your sandwich, what did it actually take to get to you? That journey is this incredible story of soil and seeds and a whole lot of science. And it's the story millions of people are living right now. Okay, so first things first, let's get on the same page. When we say agriculture, it's easy to just picture a field of corn. But it is so much bigger than that. We're talking about this massive, fundamental human activity. Everything from the flowers on your table to the animals that give us meat and milk. It's the bedrock of how we all eat. And right here is where our story gets really interesting. At the heart of it all are two totally different reasons why someone farms. On one side, you've got subsistence farming. The whole point there is survival, growing enough food to feed your family. On the other side, commercial farming. That's a business, plain and simple. It's all about profit and selling on a massive scale. And that single difference changes absolutely everything. But here's what's wild. Even with those completely different goals, the basic how-to guide for farming is surprisingly universal. You could say there's a playbook that pretty much every farmer on Earth follows to make things grow. Let's just run through it real quick. There are 6 main steps. First, you prepare the soil. Then you plant the seeds. After that, you gotta feed and water them, protect them from weeds. Then comes the big one, harvesting. And finally, you store it all safely. That's the whole process, from start to finish. So step 1, getting the soil ready is absolutely crucial. The whole point of plowing or tilling is to loosen everything up. Think of it like fluffing a pillow. You're making it easy for the plant's roots to breathe and stretch out deep into the ground so they can get a good grip and find all the water and nutrients they need. Okay, the bed is made, so now it's time to plant the seeds. That's called sowing. But you can't just toss a seed in the ground and walk away. Just like us, a tiny seed needs food and water to grow big and strong. So farmers add nutrients back into the soil, and then of course they add water through irrigation. It's all about nurturing that new life. And how we do that watering part is really being transformed by technology. Forget just flooding a field. Modern methods like sprinklers are great, but the real game changer is the drip system. This is amazing. It delivers water literally 1 drop at a time, right at the base of the plant. Almost no water is wasted, which is a total lifesaver in dry places. And now for the home stretch. The crops are growing, but you've got to fight off the weeds, which try to steal all the sunlight and water. Once you've won that battle, it's time for the best part, the harvest. After you gather the crop, you have to separate the good stuff, like the grain, from the rest of the plant. That's called threshing. And finally, you get it all stored away, safe and sound. So, that's the universal playbook. Seems simple enough, right? Well, this is where our story takes a huge turn. We're about to see how following that exact same 6-step process can lead to 2 completely different worlds by comparing a typical farm in India with one in the United States. And I know what you might be thinking. Farming is farming. How different can it possibly be? Well, get ready, because the difference isn't just big, it is absolutely mind-blowing. The scale, the technology, the entire purpose, it's just staggering. Let's start with the most basic thing, the land. In India, the average farm is just 2.3 hectares. To help you picture that, it's roughly the size of 3 soccer fields. We're talking about a pretty small plot, usually run by a single family. Okay, got that picture in your head? 3 soccer fields. Now, let's jump over to the US. The average farm size? 250 hectares. No, you heard me right, not 25, 250. It is literally more than 100 times bigger. We're not talking about a family plot anymore. We're talking about a massive, sprawling industrial operation. And that enormous difference in size creates this huge domino effect. The next piece to fall is technology. I mean, it's just common sense, right? The kind of equipment you can use on 250 hectares is in a totally different universe from what you can do on a small 3-hectare plot. And this just lays it all out. In India, farming is still about 80% traditional, powered by people and animals. Because of that, it employs a staggering number of people, almost half the country's population. Now look at the US. It's the complete opposite. 90% mechanized, and it employs a tiny fraction of the population, about 1.5%, many of whom have degrees in agricultural science. They are 2 different worlds. This quote really drives it home. Over 60% of American farms use something called precision agriculture. So what's that? It's exactly what it sounds like. We're talking about GPS-guided tractors, sensors in the soil sending back data, drones flying overhead. It's farming with data analytics. It is a high-tech enterprise, a million miles away from a plow pulled by an ox. So let's recap. We have a massive difference in scale, which leads to a massive difference in technology. And all of that brings us to the final, most crucial distinction, the very purpose of the farm itself. Is it a livelihood or is it a business? Let's break this down. In India, the main purpose is subsistence, feeding your family. In the US, it's commercial, making a profit. Now look at the yields. For wheat, they're surprisingly similar per hectare. But for a heavily optimized crop like corn in the US, the yield is just enormous. And here's what's fascinating. Because so many people are involved in India, agriculture makes up a huge 17% of its GDP. Meanwhile, hyper-efficient US farming is so mechanized that it's only about 1% of its economy. Wild, right? But this economic reality creates immense human pressure. In India, many farmers face a crushing cycle of debt, which has led to a truly tragic crisis. And in the US, while the income is generally higher, farming remains one of the most high-stress jobs you can have. The financial challenges are different, but believe me, they are very real in both worlds. So where does this all leave us? We've got two vastly different models for doing the same essential job, each with its own strengths and its own profound challenges. What does this all mean for the future of how we feed our planet? When you boil it all down, it's a clear chain reaction. The scale of the farm determines the technology you can use. That technology drives productivity, and the economics of it all shapes the farm's very purpose. So if we're going to talk about global food security, you have to understand both of these worlds. Ultimately, both the small family farm and the giant commercial operation have to figure out how to feed a planet heading towards 10 billion people, and do it sustainably. And that's really the big question we're left with, isn't it? As technology and tradition keep colliding, what will the global farm of tomorrow even look like? Will it be a world of hyper-efficient mega-farms? Or can we adapt technology to empower the millions of small-scale farmers around the globe? The answer, whatever it is, will define the future of our food.